Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudirahe Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Muttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Rudraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Reading Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, 31st chapter, titled as Movements of Living Entities, text number 27. Kapila is explaining to Mata Devhuti about the process of birth. When the child is born, the child is within the womb of mother for 9 months, and the child is within the dark cavity surrounded by the fluid which is called amniotic fluid, which is nothing but the urine and the stool of the baby herself. And now the child is taking birth from the womb after 9 months, and then while the child uh, is taking birth, the body of the child compresses in the uterine cavity. And as soon as the child is born, the child is having difficulties, and the child starts crying. Now, here further Kapil Dev says, Tudanti amatvacham tamsha mashaka matakunadaya rudantam vigata gnanam krumaya krumikam yatha. Tudanti amatvacham. Tudanti is that biting. So who is biting? Some germs and bacteria are biting. Amatvacham. Amatvacham is the skin of the baby, which is very soft. So baby, when it is born, then it is surrounded by that fluid, which is amniotic fluid, and which has some germs and bacteria in it. So they are covering the baby, and they are biting. And then mashakaha matuka adayaha, and rudantam vigatah gnanam. Rudantam means crying. So the baby is in a helpless condition, newborn, and it is surrounded by or bitten by gnats, mosquitoes, bugs, and other germs when the baby is born. Now, this is not only for human being but for animal also. This is a similar situation. When the animal babies are born, they have also undergone this pain. So, the skin of the newborn is very tender, and just as a smaller worms bite a big worm, the child deprived of this wisdom cries bitterly. So this child is helpless, it is being bitten by the germs and bacteria, and it is crying here for the help. But the child is not able to express itself because it is being bitten by germs and bacteria. So in purport, Srila Prabhupada explains the word Vigata Gnanam means that the spiritual knowledge which the child developed in the abdomen is already lost to spell of Maya. So the child within the womb of mother is thinking, oh, why am I trapped into this material, in this abdominal cavity? I do not want to be trapped here. But as soon as the child is born and is bitten by this uh, germs and insects, it forgets that knowledge. Owing to the various kinds of disturbances and being out of the abdomen, the child cannot remember that he was thinking for his salvation. The child within the womb is thinking, I do not want to enter into the material world again because there is a lot of suffering. But then, as soon as the child is born, it forgets that, remember, desire to get out of cycle of birth and death. It is assumed that even if a person acquires some spiritually uplifting knowledge, circumstantially he is prone to forget it. Not only the children but also elderly person should be very careful to protect that sense of Krishna consciousness and avoid unfavorable circumstances so they may not forget their prime duty. So in this verse it is described that it is our duty, our activities should be Krishna conscious in such a way that we should never forget Krishna. We always remember Krishna, right? So here in this verse, it describes how a baby is not able to protect itself from the basic discomforts like insect bites, cries, and this physical vulnerability leads to the forgetfulness of one's eternal identity, right? So it is very important that we actively work towards retaining our Krishna consciousness and not forget our real purpose. Sometimes we forget our real purpose in the life. So, under the influence of material world, we forget our real identity, which is to remember Krishna. Ante Narayana Smriti. Our desire or our final purpose is that at the time of giving up this body, we remember Krishna. So that is very important. So our activities should be centered in such a way that all the times we remember Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.